Want more information on Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 4? I mean, Sparking Zero. Sorry. Well, sit down because, man, do I have the info for you, bud. So, starting off cutting the bullshit with Sparking Zero, let's discuss the development and release information. So, Sparking Zero has been in development for the last 5 years, roughly, meaning we've all been playing Fighter Z, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, while this has been in the works. Isn't that kind of crazy, man? I mean, think about that for a second. But either way, this game's going to release on Xbox Series X and or S. I'm not entirely sure if those are correct names for the Xbox. I don't really play Xbox, but PlayStation 5 and PC, meaning this will be the first Budokai Tenkaichi game to be released initially on PC. But since most games nowadays are coming out on PC, it's sort of expected. But before moving into the next segment, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that doorbell, as it helps the channel grow, and if not, I appreciate you staying and watching for the information. As for those of you wanting to play this game on last gen, I highly doubt that it will, since relating to the last IGN interview, it's going to be released on the Unreal Engine 5. As we can see here, the game was developed by Spike Chunsoft, which was the team behind the OG Budokai Tenkaichi series. Now, whether or not those developers are still working there or not, well, we'll have to see how the game turns out, but I have high hopes, I don't have high expectations. So, moving on, Jan Furatani, and I apologize if I completely butchered his name, states that Fighter Z was made for esports, Kakarot was for the story, and Xenoverse was for the creative aspects such as making characters and feeling as though you're part of that world. He goes on to state that the focus of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is to, in quotes, push the limits of how much a player can completely immerse themselves into the world and how intensely they can make that happen. So during this interview, John explains that the naming scheme for this is not a prequel, but the name is meant to embody the game that can be accessible for both longtime fans and newcomers. It seems they really want to make this an upgraded version of what we had back in the day, more familiar to those of us who played the original games. The battle areas will be destroyable through beams, general combat, and ultimates just as the olden days, guys. Apparently, even transformations will affect the environment. Moving on to the next segment, the V-Jump pages and translations. So, all credit goes to DBS Hype over at Twitter for providing these scans, along with Shonen Games for the translations, because I was not trying to pull all that and translate it. Obviously, these aren't official translations, but I assume we will get them in due time. But if we pull up to the top here, there are a few images from the trailer. We have Goku doing a smash attack with Vegeta countering him. Here are the screenshots of all the characters that appears like we've got some ultimates actually, and maybe some special attacks with Krillin, Android 18, Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, and the image of Cell from the trailer and Majin Buu. Moving on to the second scan, of which I don't want to spend too much time on because we've already seen most of this in the trailer. I just more so want to show it to you guys, but what I really want to bring to your attention here is Hercule, with the infamous I've got a present for you move, with the classic jetpack making a return. And moving on to the next segment, the game size. Now we can't really confirm anything here. I more so see these as placeholders, but a lot of people are reporting different sizes on Xbox, such as 8 gigs, 166, and 77. With numbers being all over the place, I'd say it's a safe bet to be around 70 to 80 gigs for game size. Kakarot was roughly around the same size as well. And for the last notation here, guys, Game Hour. Watch out for Game Hour. They may cover more news over there. But that's pretty much it. Thank you, guys.